Flint is an amazing, beautiful, and complex city.
If you ever need to be encouraged or inspired by the real grit of humanity, you will find that in Flint.
The water crisis was a moment in our history, the Flint city history, where 100,000 people, that includes aging seniors and 10,000 0 to 5-year-olds, were exposed to lead in their drinking water.
When most people think of the Flint water crisis, they think of lead, but it was really much more than that. It started with a crisis of democracy. That really created a crisis of trust in government at all levels.
How do we remediate these type of environmental injustices? How do we move forward working together for low to moderate income areas, Black and brown communities? We definitely have to value each other as human beings first.
The water crisis really acted as a catalyst. It provided an opportunity to really have meaningful conversations about race.
The underpinnings of truth, racial healing, and transformation teach us that we place the hierarchy on the value of human life and how that shows up in our society as people have differential access to health care or goods or services or quality housing.
We began to bring in healing practitioners to support the grounding that's going to be necessary to see one another in our common humanity.
How do you begin the process to do your work while other people are doing their work, and you're willing and open enough to do it together?
Multi-sector problems require multi-sector solutions. The ways that we had to partner to get through the water crisis was also the systems that we needed to build to be able to respond to whatever crisis come in the future.
We developed a partnership with the city of Flint around a public housing initiative called Choice Neighborhoods. We have undertaken the COVID-19 Task Force on Racial Inequities.
Post George Floyd, there were a number of commitments around what we would do to engage police in the most authentic ways, to support police engaging community in the most authentic ways.
We had our entire local police force participate in the healing circles.
And that also allowed us to look at some very specific changes in policies and practices that we're going to elevate. We're going to put forth a report to the police chief and support advocacy around healthier environment for police to serve in. As a racial healing practitioner, it's part of my role to create a space for people to speak their truths.
You're right, but ultimately healing comes from the inside out. So it first starts with the work we need to do within.
I can see the difference in our police force. I can see the engagement and the morale being lifted because now they understand how to de-escalate situations, how not to be so fearful of people because of their color.
Truth, racial healing, and transformation work is so important in Flint because much of what has happened in Flint has its underpinnings in racial inequity and systemic and structural racism.
In order for us to reestablish a level of trust in this community, we have to inspire a level of hope.
It's transformational because you do the work, but the world seems different. More seems possible. Partnerships seem possible, where before they weren't.
Now we're in a much better place. We recognize who we are and what the task is ahead of us.
I don't think I've been involved in any circle that has really been a negative experience or that didn't have some type of impact.
When you look out at your community and humanity is front and center, and the contributions that community get to bring to bear, you say, man, what a beautiful world.